sold a bike to him, and he agreed to make payments on the bike. So far, is that correct? You stop shaking your head. You could sit down. You're his mother. You agreed to make payments on the bike.
Yes, I did.
How much did you purchase the bike for?
It was going to be $2,000 by the time I was done making payments to him.
On what date did you agree to purchase the bike?
It was the day after Thanksgiving in 2015.
Do you remember the date?
November 26th.
And the purchase was made at your house?
Yes.
And when were you supposed to make your first payment?
The next week.
And as a result of this arrangement, did you take possession of the bike?
Yes.
And where did you take it?
Home to my house.
So far, are we all in agreement?
As well with the bike, he also took my helmet, chest protector, and gloves, which I have not received.
Okay, so you took your bike to the house. Now it's your bike.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Well, when I got home, my mom kind of says, "Hey, what are you thinking? You just had a newborn son. You don't need a street bike." And I kicked it around a little bit, and I called Steven immediately, and I said, "You know, it really isn't a good idea for me to keep this. I got it. You know, I was excited, and I wanted the bike, and basically, I made a mistake, so I told him that I wanted to return it. I was going to return it that weekend."
Okay, so you were going to return it, but you didn't return it that weekend.
I didn't, no.
You did not. You kept it in your house.
Yes, for one more week.
Keep going.
Okay,
And?
the day that I was going to return the bike, me and Mr. Stoltz, we went to Denny's for breakfast. On our way home from Denny's, I got pulled over for no registration on the bike, and the police impounded it. He was following me, actually, on our way home. That was the day that I was supposed to return the bike to Steven, and the bike got impounded.
Oh, that's the day you decided to return the bike to Steven. If you decided on November 26th that you didn't want the bike, you should have returned it on November 26th.
I stayed in contact with him.
I don't care whether you stayed in contact with him. I don't care whether you slept under his bed. If you decided you didn't want the bike on November 26th, you should have returned it on November 26th if he would have agreed. Because by the time you took the bike home and had a discussion with your mother, that contract was completed.
There was no written contract.
There doesn't have to be a written contract, sir.
Okay.
You made an arrangement with him to purchase a piece of property, not real property, personalty, which doesn't have to be in writing, and you took possession. Stop playing with the papers, it distracts me.
Sorry.
And you took possession of the property.
Yeah, he was.
So you exercised dominion and control over the property that you just purchased. So there doesn't have to be a written contract. If there was a written contract for everything, I'd be out of business.
I also found out, though, that it was not his bike. It wasn't registered to him. It wasn't even his bike.
Show me.
Show
me.
Okay.
Show me. If what you're saying is that he didn't have the authority to sell the bike because he wasn't the registered owner, I'm willing to see anything that you have.
I don't have anything, but he wasn't the registered owner.
Well, that's supposed to be something that you can prove, but
Yes.
that's really not your defense. Your defense to this whole thing is that you had a discussion with your mother, you changed your mind. Instead of returning the bike right away when you changed your mind, which she would agree to accept it back, you kept it in your house for over a week. Mm-hmm. And you probably used it because you rode the bike to Denny's.
Yes.
So you exercised dominion control and you used it.
Yes.
And you hadn't paid anything. And when you used it, the bike was impounded because it hadn't been registered.
Yes.
By you.
Yes.
Okay. You have the bike now?
Yes.
And you're going to sell it?
Yes.
So the bike wasn't damaged in any way? No. So it's the impound fees that we're talking about, correct? And how much were the impound fees?
The impound fee was $800 plus...
I'd like to see it.
Okay. And also on the next page. And that was to release the hold from the police station.
Okay. Now, what happened with the helmet, the gloves, and the chest protector?
I'm not sure. I thought that they had got them. I left Wayne a message. I told him to come and pick them up from my roommate. As far as I knew that he got them.
You know,
I left them at my house while I was at work.
What's your last name?
Pettit.
Mr. Pettit, it sounds to me like you are a totally irresponsible young man.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. You take the bike to your mother's house to show her the bike. You have his property, and you didn't return the bike on time. When you changed your mind, you returned it a week later after you drove it. And then the helmet, the gloves, and the chest protector, you tell him to go pick it up from my roommate instead of you taking it to his house. That to me is irresponsible.
They were texting me, threatening me and stuff. I wasn't going to go bring it to him.
Take it to a police station.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,229. We're done.